Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to sit down with you and talk about things that changed in me after moving to California. I moved here in 2016, so it's been 3 years, and I feel that right now I'm a completely different person. And by the way, this video is brought to you by Skillshare. Thing number one that changed is I became more tolerant. I grew up in post-Soviet Russia when everyone, like in Soviet Union, everyone had to be the same. Everyone had to wear pretty much the same clothes, live in pretty much the same way. Like my parents and my parents' friend would have the exact same furniture at home because there was nothing else. And if you were different, you might have been ashamed of it. And in California, like there are so many different people in San Francisco. There are people making billions of dollars every year. There are people building amazing companies. There are people driving Uber. There are people selling tacos. Like everyone is doing whatever he wants to do. And there are also people walking naked in the street. And the first time that happened to me when I saw this person, I was like, oh my God, what is he doing? Like my first reaction was to talk about him and share with my friends. And like now, okay, I see a naked person. This is very San Francisco and I'm okay with that. And I really like this quality in me now because I became more tolerant, and I think tolerance is actually respecting somebody else's choices and freedom. Like if someone wants to have 70 dogs at home, like I'm okay with it. Just, you know, I want people to be happy. Another thing that was affected is actually stop discussing other people behind their backs, because I think this is very like Russian thing, but some Russians would argue with me about that. But again, before, if I would walk in the streets of Russia and see someone dressed in a weird way, we would start like whispering, oh my God, what he's doing. But now I wouldn't do that. I would just not care. Thing number two, I started appreciating organic food. Like before moving to California, I wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. When we just moved, we moved to Mountain View in Silicon Valley, and we didn't have a lot of money because we were still waiting for our investment from 500 startups, and they only transferred money like 3 months after we arrived. And we used to go to a very, very cheap grocery shop, and we used to buy all of our food there, like meat and vegetables and stuff. And once I sat down with my friend and I was like, oh, I really like that shop because we go there like every week and do all of the grocery shopping. He's like, don't do that. Don't you love your body? Do you want to get old faster? Because there's a lot of antibiotics in that meat. There is a lot of inorganic and unhealthy stuff in the products that you buy there. And then I went to another grocery store. I went to like Trader Joe's, I went to Whole Foods. I started going to farmers markets and I actually realized there is such a huge difference between organic and non-organic food. That might sound like really California, but this is the reality now. Like whenever I travel somewhere, I try to go to local farmers market to get like the best food. Thing number three, I actually came to it maybe like a couple months ago. It's actually having a feeling that I can make as much money as I want. It just depends on whether I want to work that hard or I don't want, because I'm meeting a lot of people who are making like tens of thousands of dollars every month, hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. I was at a conference, ClickFunnels, in Nashville, and I'm talking to people who are sitting at the same table with me, and I'm like, how much are you making every month? And they're like, last month I made over $100,000. And I'm like, wow, that's super impressive. And I talked to those people and I realized they are not different. They're just hardworking people who found their niche, who are 100% dedicated to whatever they do. And I think California gives you that feeling because, again, a lot of people are achieving their dreams. A lot of people are starting companies. A lot of people are becoming successful. And when you have an opportunity to work with them on a daily basis, you start to recognize that they are just simple people. Yes, maybe they're smarter. Yes, maybe they're a little more hardworking, but they are not coming from Mars. They are not like a completely different specimen. And I think this is an amazing feeling because, again, I grew up post-Soviet Russia, not a lot of money, and you're always afraid of like ending up in a small room somewhere in the outskirts of St. Petersburg and stuff. And I'm finally like kind of getting rid of that feeling, and I really appreciate it because it again gives you freedom to dream, freedom to work, and freedom to come up with new things that you want to do. Thing number four, I started making decisions quicker. When I started my first company, I thought that this is probably the company I'm gonna stick to for the rest of my life. Like, this is it, and I'm gonna just do that. But now I realize that I can try a lot of things alongside with running like several companies, And the matter of doing that is actually making more decisions, hiring more people, and trying more stuff. And I think, again, when you see San Francisco people moving around, starting things, you're like, I can do the same. I can try and do the same. And this is so inspiring. This is something that wasn't inside of myself like back in 2016. So it's just a matter of like 3 years. Thing number 5, it became easier for me to talk to strangers. When we're on the elevator in my apartment, I meet like my neighbors, and they would always ask me, how was your day? What are you doing? Where are you from? How did you end up living in San Francisco? That didn't happen back in my own country, but now I just feel that when I'm here in Russia, I would be like approaching people in the streets, complimenting people on the way they're dressed. This is so American. This is not just California, this is everywhere. I remember I was walking in New York, and like somebody just approached me and was like, oh my God, I love your shoes. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I realized this is typical. This is how America works. Like, people just compliment each other on things. And this is a great conversation starter. They compliment you on your accent, they compliment you on your outfit, and then you just start meeting more people. And I think that helped me relax in like interacting with strangers. Another thing is that I realized that in everything I do, I want to be great. Because again, before I was like trying different things, and I feel that after moving to California, I actually grew up. And this means that if I'm starting an Instagram, I want to be perfect on Instagram. I want to write amazing posts. I want to take amazing pictures. If I'm on YouTube, I want the quality of my videos to be great. I want the information to be really useful. And at the same time, I want to try more and more stuff and learn more and more stuff. And again, before that, I had a notion that if I wanted to go into something different, like switching from being an entrepreneur to being a blogger and adding Instagram and adding like a writer, because I just released 2 books. Before that, I wouldn't do that, because I would have thought that if I want to do something new, I need to get like education, do another bachelor's, do another master's. Now I have a completely different approach. If I want to do something, what I need is to actually start. Yes, sometimes I need some basic knowledge, but I can get that knowledge in like a couple of weeks. I've attended a filmmaking course in Los Angeles for 6 weeks, and that was enough for me to become more professional on YouTube. You can also learn anything in like an hour, 2 hours a week. There are so many online platforms where you can learn from amazing tutors who are actually hands-on on whatever they're teaching. And one of the platforms is called Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access, so you can join classes in community that are just right for you. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving. One of the courses that I've taken is a course in photography, because as I mentioned, I wanted my Instagram to be perfect, but like taking pictures is not something that I've studied. I've studied mathematics and economics, but again, like 2 weeks of taking online classes is just enough for you to get that feel of what's the right composition, what's the right color scheme, what apps do you use to edit your photos. And yes, you do not become the top level world professional, but it's just enough for you to start something on your own in that field. Skillshare is also super affordable. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. Join more than 7 million creators learning with Skillshare. The first of my 500 subscribers who are gonna click a link below will get 2 months free trial on Skillshare, and you get access to all of the amazing courses. And the last thing that changed me, but not the least, I started researching everything. Like, it took me 2 months to find my primary care physician, because I was researching every single doctor on Yelp, reading all the reviews, reading all the like sources that are talking about the doctor. I'm researching the restaurants I'm going to. Like, Yelp is my go-to app now, because again, I try to research a restaurant, I try to research a doctor. Other people's reviews really affect me, and I think this is a great way if you're limited on time and you want to make a perfect choice. So start researching whatever you do. If you go to Skillshare, like, see how many reviews are there on the course, how many students took that course, because again, this is your time, you're investing it, and do it wisely. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know a lot of you are watching from other countries, and maybe a lot of you are dreaming of coming to California, coming to the United States to study, to change your life, to get a new career. I've just recently released my book on Amazon, which is my story of getting full financial aid in the US, and I got into several top universities here, and I told my story in that book and gave a lot of practical tips. And I wanted to give away 2 books. I will ask you to comment down below, if you were in California right now, what would you do? Like, what is the career that you would choose? What would you start a company? Like, what is your dream in California? Comment down below. I'm gonna randomly pick up 2 comments in a week, and I'm gonna announce the winners in the community tab, and you're gonna get my free ebook. I'm waiting for your comments. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, click the red button below, and I will see you in the next vlogs. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like it, because that's the only way for me to see if you enjoyed it or not. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.